Rob, another disappointing defeat on the road this afternoon here at Stockport. Can I get your thoughts on the game first?
There's not really any faults in the game, to be honest with you. We just didn't turn up for 45 minutes. Yet again, we wait until in certain games we go 1-0 down, then we want to start playing because the pressure's off and because we're not able to attack it. And yeah, we got bullied, we got out-fought, we got outrun. And ultimately now the decision for me is that, you know, Crawley has a specific way that we want to play. You know, we want to be, and myself included, you know, we want to be this possession-based team and we want to play good football, but that comes after you do all the other stuff that you run and you fight, you win second balls, you don't put the ball, you put the ball at risk where it needs to be put at risk. All the things we've talked about and all the things we worked on. So ultimately it comes down to two things. It comes down to putting people on the pitch that will give you absolutely everything, 100%. You know, when they come off the pitch, absolutely gone. Jeremy Kelly's playing with a serious injury to his ankle, but he comes on no matter what. He still goes, and he comes off because he has to, not because he wants to. And that's what we need in that character of people, because ultimately the league position is the league position for a reason. So as much as we get plaudits at times for our football, you have to be able to do the other stuff to even compete on the football side of things. And I thought Stockport today give us a lesson in how you do that. You know, in the 88th minute, you've got their number 9 target striker chasing back and tackling people in the far corner. That's what you need. You know, that's what you need, especially in a relegation fight. So that's what I'm expecting, and also that's what we'll be seeing going forward in terms of team selection and players. Because if you're not all in on this, and if you're not willing to give everything, then it doesn't matter how much ability you got. It doesn't count. Listen, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, is that the case? Is it, you know, players not giving their all, or is it just a severe sort of lack of belief? Because as you say, it takes sometimes for us to go 1-0 down, for us to start moving the ball a bit better, and then, you know, once the Stockport players go on the attacking, it almost feels like we're just settling back into and it's just waiting for the second goal to go in. Is that down to a lack of belief, or is it, as you say, you know, people not, you know, pulling their weight?
I don't think it's a case of people not pulling their weight. I think it's a mentality that we need to have. That we need to have more of a ruthless mentality, and a mentality to try and win every single moment in the game. And at the moment, we want to do it when it suits us, as in when it's nice and we get to move the ball and stuff. We're happy to do that. When the ball turns over or when we get pressure, we're not willing to do the other stuff, the horrible things. You know, you've got the likes of Ben Radcliffe who comes in, his head and everything fighting. You know, he's only been in two weeks. And that's what you need, that desire to want to win in every moment. We have to look at everything now. We have to look at the work rate. Now, is the work rate where we need it to be? Are people doing the jobs that they're asked of? Because it's so disappointing that we go from Barnsley, which is similar, to Burton, which despite the result was a really good performance, dominated in every area. And then, you know, we come and we freeze until the goal goes in, then we want to start playing. And by the way, I take responsibility in that in terms of the setup of the team, but it doesn't matter what team or setup or formation you play if everyone's not buying into it and doing their role within it. So we just need a group of lads now that will come in and that will be there to give absolutely everything and follow what instructions they're given, because that's the only way you do it, is by the togetherness and understanding that we have one direction, we all follow it. Because I genuinely believe if we all do that, that we'll be absolutely fine, but we've got to do that first now.
Yeah, and as you said, I think earlier on in the interview, there were some players that came on in the second half that, you know, were running their socks off. It was good to see, obviously, Ronan coming back into the side. And ultimately, we have, you know, just over a week. It's the 3rd of February that the deadline ends this year. So there is some time, you know, to bring in some fresh legs, some players, you know, going to give their 110% for the club, isn't there?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I mean, obviously the lads who come on affected the game well. They get the work rate and the effort. And that's what they need to do. Max Anderson in particular was unlucky not to start today, but we felt, because we knew they'd go man for man. But ultimately he come on and was excellent as always. He's been a standout in terms of his performances and his mentality and his professionalism. And having Darce back's massive with his quality, and obviously with Darce, you know, the energy he gives us, you know, when he's on that levels, when he's running and he's running all over the pitch, you know, he just makes us better, and that's what we need when you're running. Darcy, who's back at them levels, which hopefully after today, what we saw moving forward, we'll have. And look, hopefully there will be people coming in, because I think we're at the point where we need to now. You know, we need to bring bodies in, one, to give us a hand, but two, who are going to come in and give absolutely everything for the cause, and make sure that when we step on the pitch, the one thing we can guarantee is we've got a group of players that are giving everything for the football club to survive at this level. You know, and I know we've got the smallest budget and all this sort of stuff, but it's irrelevant. You know, the things that you can measure there's no price tag on that. You know, so we need to make sure that the things, the desire, the work rate, you know, winning tackles, second balls, not letting the ball bounce, all these little things, that doesn't come down to your budget, in my opinion. It comes down to desire with the individual to want to win and want to do whatever they can for their teammates. And they're a good group, they're good people, they genuinely are, they're good lads. But we need to bind together now and realise that it's going to take all of us working hard together to keep the momentum, to shift the momentum and start grinding out wins, grinding out points, because that's ultimately what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it must be very hard for the players to go in after a performance like that, open their phones and see that Burton have won and seeing that other teams around us have won as well. Obviously Shrewsbury lost in the 96th minute today, which is the only result that keeps us off the bottom of the table. Do you have to use that as motivation to look around and say, look, if these guys are pulling together and fighting in the direction, picking up points, there's no reason why we can't as well?
Well, I think it's a bit irrelevant what the other teams do, because we need to win X amount of games to survive. So, whether Burton, Shrewsbury are winning, I'm not interested, to be honest with you, because it doesn't make a blind bit of difference if we can't perform and get points. So unless we're willing to go out there and give everything for 3 points, put your bodies on the line, put everything on the line for it, then it doesn't matter what every other club does if you're not doing it yourself. So first and foremost, we need to get ourselves in the position where we're back to where we need to be in terms of the off the ball and the understanding of the horrible side of the game. Because I think we've shown that we can do the good side of the game really well, but we need to do the horrible side well. We need people that want to do it and that are willing to fight and willing to give everything for the cause.
Thank you, Rob.